So my name is Sahar Jamal, and I'm the founder and CEO of Maziwa Breastfeeding. We aim to ensure that no mother has to choose between staying at home to breastfeed and returning to work to support their families. So I'm originally born in Canada, but my family is East African. My dad was born in Tanzania, and I moved to Nairobi in 2018. And I was working at Jacaranda Health and learned a lot about breastfeeding and breastfeeding mothers. And unfortunately, many of the women I spoke to were struggling to continue breastfeeding after they returned to work. And I learned that actually, in fact, out of the 1 million women who give birth every year, only 10% of moms are able to continue breastfeeding after they go back to work. And so this inspired me to start Maziwa, and I've been working on it ever since. So Maziwa breastfeeding was started in 2019. We have invented the Wema breast pump, which is an innovative breast pump that allows mothers to express breast milk in any environment. So it's discreet, it's portable and wireless, and it can be used in a lot of workplaces. We also have the Community Breastfeeding Ambassador program, where we train mothers and community health workers to be lactation support educators that provide peer support to their communities. And finally, we have corporate and employer offerings so that companies can actually purchase breast pumps for their employees so that they can continue balancing work with breastfeeding. We've heard great feedback from moms so far, and we're very happy to hear that. We launched the breast pump in August of 2019, and since then, hundreds of moms have given us feedback that it's really helped them balance working and breastfeeding. We actually phone every single mom who's purchased the pump, and many of them have said that it's made it much easier for them to use the breast pump at work. And actually 93% of the women that we've surveyed who are working have managed to continue exclusively breastfeeding, which is really great news. And it's very different than the national average, which is just 10%. So that's a very big difference. Some moms have said that it's the best thing that happened to them, that it's their favorite breast pump. So we love hearing their feedback, and we're so happy that it's making a difference in their lives. My family is from East Africa, and so I've always been passionate about women's health and economic empowerment in this region. And I was working at companies like Johnson & Johnson in the healthcare space. And eventually I realized that while I'm passionate about healthcare, I actually wanted to work in East Africa, where my family is. And so I took on a CSR role with Johnson & Johnson, and they were able to help me get involved with the maternal health organizations that they work with. And eventually I realized I was enjoying this work so much more than my day job. So I quit my job, I went back to school, and then I actually moved to Kenya to work at Jacaranda Health here. And that's where I learned much more about breastfeeding and what inspired the rest of my journey. So we target all Kenyan mothers who are working, and that ranges from women who are in the informal workplace who are lower income, all the way to middle and high income women who are employed in an office. And we target them in different ways, so we have different offerings for different demographics. But we want to make sure that no mother, regardless of her income level, has to choose between her baby's health and her family's economic well-being. So we spent about 2 years talking to hundreds of Kenyan mothers, and we really wanted to co-create a solution with moms because we wanted them to be part of the decision-making process for their breastfeeding journey. And what we heard from moms is that despite the fact that there's lots of public policy in place and the Health Act of 2017 does mandate lactation rooms, most of their workplaces don't have a private space to express breast milk. And so as a result, even if we could work on public policy, even if we can work with employers to improve their support, many women work in informal settings or in difficult settings where they don't have all the support that they need to continue breastfeeding. So we wanted to put the power back into the mom's hands by giving her a tool that allows her to express breast milk in any place. And we spent lots of time actually designing the pump with moms. So moms would be drawing their ideal pump. They would tell us about their normal work day, when could they be pumping breast milk. And as a result, we came up with something that's discreet, that's rechargeable and wireless, and that's portable to make it very easy for mom to incorporate breast milk expression into her workday. And finally, after years of development, we were able to launch in August 2019, thanks to the help of all the Kenyan moms that we learned from. The response has been amazing. We started with a company that was relatively unknown. We thought maybe if we launch a breast pump and we sell through our website, people may not recognize us, so it might take some time to build awareness. But in the first couple of days of launch, we didn't even put up any advertising, and moms were already purchasing online. So that was incredible. And since then, hundreds of mothers have purchased the product, and we've had conversations with them about their journeys, and most women are very, very happy with the product. We also offer a free breastfeeding support session, a virtual one, that helps moms with any of the questions they might have, not only about the product, but about breastfeeding in general. Some people don't know that breastfeeding is actually a learned skill. People assume it comes naturally, but there's some challenges that moms face along in their journey, and so we want to make sure that we're not only giving them the tool, but also the education and the support that they might need. Yeah, as an entrepreneur, the journey has been really amazing. I really love being in this space. I love how fast-paced it is. I love being able to be creative and work towards solving a problem that I believe is important. I started off very small. I started off in 2019 with no team. But we had some technical contractors who were helping me develop the product. And then I was very fortunate to find really great people in the space here, including my expert lactation educator who joined the team very early in 2020. And she's become our community engagement director. And she's also part of the Kenya Association for Breastfeeding. And we've also been able to recruit a marketing team, sales team, and operations, customer service. So we've really grown over time, and I couldn't have done it without my team. But of course, you always have to start small. Every day is different as an entrepreneur. Some of my favorite days are ones where I can actually interact with moms. So sometimes if we have education sessions or health talks, or we're training our community breastfeeding ambassadors, I actually get a chance to sit there and interact and learn. And so those are my favorite days. And earlier on in the company, we were able to do that much more because we were developing the product along with mothers. And now as you become bigger and bigger, more of your time is at the desk and less of it is in the field. But every day can be different. Sometimes I'm working on our financial model and fundraising. Sometimes I am working with our cross-functional team to create a marketing campaign. Sometimes I'm out on sales calls with retailers or pharmacies or clinics. So it really depends on a day-to-day basis. So the Community Breastfeeding Ambassador Program is one where we train and recruit mothers who have previously breastfed themselves to be champions of breastfeeding in their community. And we believe it's really important for the education and support to come from this group because they can really relate to the challenges that exist as a breastfeeding mother. So you can purchase the Wema breast pump directly on our website, which is maziwabreastfeeding.com. You can connect with us on social media, but our breast pump is also for sale with other retailers, such as e-commerce platforms like Mum's Village or Elephant in a Box. And it's also available on Biashara Street in Nairobi at 8 of the baby stores called Made for Moms and Sonus, so you can purchase it there as well. The pump retails for $12,500 on our website, and the price can vary a little bit depending on where it's being sold. But we also have an option for lower income mothers where we actually offer a rental option for moms where they can rent the pump on a monthly basis. And so that allows it to be a bit more accessible and affordable for mothers, since not all women need the pump for the entire few years. They only need it for maybe 3 months or 6 months as they're balancing breastfeeding with working. There's always a lot of challenges as a founder. One of them recently has been COVID, so I'm sure a lot of people running any business in the last few years have suffered from the challenges of the pandemic. For us, it was really restricted funding in the healthcare space. A lot of healthcare funding, of course, rightfully so, has gone to pandemic relief. But that's also made it a little bit more challenging for us to raise funds. And then in addition, we have a very global supply chain where we're manufacturing and importing goods, and that was also really restricted during the pandemic because of different challenges with the supply chain globally. So that's been one big challenge for us. But then there's always challenges on a day-to-day basis. As a small company, it takes time to build a brand and to build awareness. So while we've had really great impact on a small group of mothers, we are still a new company and we're still trying to grow our awareness. So we always have to invest more in making our brand known and reaching more and more mothers across the country. The thing that motivates me the most is that working mothers are actually some of the most important members of our global society. They raise and they nourish our children. They provide for their families and for their communities with their income, and we're penalizing them every day. We're penalizing them because they have this incredible reproductive capacity to give birth and to nourish life. And at the workplace, we're shaming them, we're embarrassing them for pumping at work, we're not giving them support, we're not giving them protected time, and it's really not fair because we should be supporting and celebrating these moms for the amazing service that they give to society. So that's really something that motivates me the most, is that these super moms are amazing and they're out there and they're hustling, and we really need to do all we can to support them. So that's one aspect. And then the second aspect is the children. You know, African children, Kenyan children are going to be our future. If you think about the global population in 20, 30 years, the children who are born today are going to be the leaders. They're going to be the majority of the global population because of how many there are. And so we need to invest in their growth. We need to ensure that they are nourished properly, that they face appropriate development, both physically and in terms of cognitive development. And the biggest factor that impacts that is their nutrition in the early days, which includes breastfeeding. So that's incredibly important as a society for us to invest in. I guess I would say launching during COVID might have been a mistake, but of course nobody could have predicted that. But I think the other thing I will say is that, you know, sometimes as a small company, it's hard to have a very big vision and to look at how big you could become in the next 10 years and to fundraise behind that. So I wish that I had raised more funding earlier on so that I could achieve the growth that we're aiming to achieve faster. So if you're an entrepreneur yourself, then I would recommend that you really commit to your ideas, you go for it, you try it, and then you bring people along that can support you financially and with mentorship and other resources so that you can invest as much as possible in your early years so that it drives your growth as quickly as possible. I'm really proud to say as Maziwa Breastfeeding, we've actually reached almost 10,000 women and children with our product, with our prototype, and with our educational content and different offerings. And that's been an amazing journey over the past 3 years. I'm also really proud that we were able to recruit an amazing team of cross-functional employees who are very passionate, who are so capable, and I'm so proud to have this local team here helping me out every day. So I'm very proud to say that with Maziwa Breastfeeding, we were able to reach over 10,000 mothers and children with our product, prototype, educational content, and other offerings. And that's been an amazing journey over the past 3 years. I'm also very proud that we recruited a great local team here of cross-functional employees who are very passionate and committed. We've managed to create a network of community breastfeeding ambassadors who are out there in their communities educating and supporting women. And we've reached various other healthcare professionals like nurses and midwives with our content. And finally, we've been really successful with grant fundraising from organizations like the Gates Foundation, Skoll Foundation, MIT Solve, and Northwestern University. And so that's really supported our growth so far and really brought us to where we are today. So I feel very happy with our successes, but I also know we have a long way to go. Our vision of success is a society where no mother has to choose between her baby's health and her family's economic well-being, regardless of where she lives, regardless of her income level, and where every baby receives the life-saving benefits of breast milk. We don't realize how magical Maziwa is. You know, Maziwa ya mama, it's a beautiful thing. It adapts to your baby's growth, it adapts to when your baby is sick, it allows your baby to have appropriate cognitive development, and it really brings a great start in life for children. And so it's so important that as much as possible, we try and support our mothers with providing breast milk to their babies. So my vision is that that can happen easily and seamlessly for all mothers, whether or not they're working. We've been doing a lot of marketing, primarily with social media, and we have a TikTok page, Facebook, and Instagram, so you can check us out on @Maziwa Breastfeeding. And a lot of our educational content is also there. So it's not just about marketing the Wema breast pump, but it's also about supporting mothers with educational content and answering any questions they might have. We also do live webinars where we talk about different topics that are important to working mothers. So that's been an important strategy for us. We also do some content on WhatsApp, so we share videos and we answer questions through our community breastfeeding ambassadors on WhatsApp. And then we do some in-person, what we call CMEs, or continuing medical education, for healthcare professionals at clinics or pharmacies, where we train health workers on appropriate breastfeeding encouragement, as well as breast milk expression, including the Wema breast pump. So with all these marketing campaigns, we hope to reach mothers, and we hope to provide them with the support that they need in their journeys. So over the next 5 years, we aim to reach 200,000 women and children with the Wema breast pump. We aim to train over 500 community breastfeeding ambassadors, and we aim to reach over 1 million mothers with our educational content and trainings. We also hope to launch outside of Kenya, so we've also started selling in South Africa already, but we know that there's demand all across East Africa. We've been getting inquiries from Uganda and Tanzania and a lot of places where we hope to also continue expanding our reach. So in the next 5 years, we want to, go regional across sub-Saharan Africa and reach more and more mothers. So breastfeeding is a very subjective experience. Every mother is different. You could almost make a breast pump, one for every single mother in the world, because it's so tailored and it's so subjective. So of course we get lots of feedback from moms. Some is very good and amazing, and sometimes mothers are still struggling. So there's a few things we do to help mothers along their journey. The first thing is that with every purchase of the Wema pump, we actually provide a free lactation consultation. So our expert lactation educator, who is part of the Kenyan Association for Breastfeeding, will spend 45 minutes with you answering any questions you have, helping you with the pump, helping you with breast milk expression, helping you increase your milk supply to ensure that you have the best experience possible. And the second thing we do is that our customer service representative actually calls every single mother who has purchased the pump to get her feedback. So we do a survey with every single user so far to learn about how things are going. And if they have any complaints or any challenges, we make sure that we address them. The Wema pump comes with a warranty, so if anything goes wrong, we actually replace it, and we give you the new parts the next day. So we want to make sure that you're not left without a breast pump that's working for too long. And then we also take any feedback that women have and actually invest it into our development for the next version of the Wema pump so we can get even better and better. And then the final thing I'll say is that, breastfeeding is a learned skill and breast pumping is also a learned skill. So sometimes it takes time for mothers to learn that skill. So we also try and encourage moms not to give up, to keep trying. We try and make the process as easy as possible for mothers, but every journey is different. My advice for aspiring entrepreneurs is that if you're passionate about a problem or a cause, just go for it. Just start, because you don't know what's going to work until you try it. And there are a lot of resources out there to support people to try and test out their idea. And the second piece of advice I would give is that you should spend as much time as possible with your target user. And so focus on the problem and not the solution. Try not to come in with an idea of what the solution already is, but actually try and spend as much time as possible learning about the problem. So we spent 2 years talking to hundreds of mothers, working with them, trying to understand what would be ideal for them. And that's how we were able to develop a service and a product that was tailored exactly to our users. So I would encourage you to spend as much time as possible focusing on user-centered design so that the product or solution you come up with is really valuable and really meaningful to the people you're trying to serve. You can reach us on social media. We have a Facebook page, an Instagram page, a TikTok page, a LinkedIn page, a YouTube page, and all the handles are at Maziwa Breastfeeding. And our website is also maziwabreastfeeding.com. You can also call us or reach us on WhatsApp at 011-431-6702. So World Breastfeeding Week is coming up. It's celebrated every single year, and this year's theme is actually Step Up for Breastfeeding, Educate and Support. And so it's all about how we as a community can step up for breastfeeding mothers so that the responsibility isn't the mother's responsibility alone, but a joint responsibility from health clinics, hospitals, employers, husbands, families that all support mothers in their journey. And the way that we plug into this as Maziwa Breastfeeding is that we're continuing to champion breastfeeding education and lactation support. We are working with our community breastfeeding ambassadors to host health talks. And we also have a campaign on our social media pages all about breastfeeding education and answering any questions and challenges that mothers might have. We also have a promotion on the Wema breast pump, so that'll be discounted too during World Breastfeeding Month, so check that out as well. So the Wema breast pump was developed to address the key challenges that working women face with expressing breast milk at the workplace. So many workplaces don't have a lactation space or private location. The Wema breast pump is actually discreet enough to fit inside clothing underneath your clothes so that you don't have to be exposed while you're pumping milk. It also is wireless and portable, which means that it doesn't have to be connected to an electrical socket. It's a double electric pump, but it can actually be charged overnight or charged for about 4 hours and used throughout the workday completely wirelessly. And it's very easy to carry because it's quite small. And so this addresses a lot of the key challenges that women face in the workplace to continue expressing breast milk.